Cleveland. Early on, it was all LeBron and the home team. Late, it was the ruthlessness of Kevin Durant. Here to Draymond, goes backdoor to Steph, who had a miserable shooting night, finally sees the ball go through the bucket. Kevin Love has it taken by who? There's that guy, Andre Iguodala. In transition, finally, a guy that made 9 threes in the last game, missed his first 9, puts that in there up 4. Off to J.R. Smith, miss. This is a great possession where they got multiple looks, and LeBron pulls and hits. It's a 1-point game. On the other end, down the lane, Iguodala again. It's a finals MVP they get back in this game. Here LeBron bullying Curry. Tristan can't get it to fall. A loose ball corralled by Golden State, and then with the shot clock beginning to wind down, all 3 of these. That is absolutely cold-blooded from Durant, who shows 0 emotion, flatline. This is what I do, this is who I am. Everyone else is screaming, Steph's screaming, Draymond screaming, Durant's got nothing. Little snarl there just to let everybody know. 43-13-7 from Kevin Durant. He will be joining us in a little bit. Draymond will be joining us in a little bit, but right now we welcome in Stephen A. Smith from Cleveland. And Stephen A., I know you like the home team in this game, and frankly, I did as well. I believed that we would see them do exactly what they did early, but in the end, they weren't able to withstand Kevin Durant. The perspective that you have from what you just saw, what stands out?
Well, the perspective is a couple of things. Number one, Kevin Durant just reminded us why he's a top 3 player on the planet. He was sensational tonight. He showed up big time. He was just as explosive, as far as I'm concerned, as LeBron James was in Game 1 of this series.
No doubt.
He was just looking at guys, demanding the basketball, and completely taking over and showing a level of skill that we simply don't see from normal basketball players throughout this world. He was just on another level. That's number one. Number two, I'm looking at LeBron, and despite the triple-double, I think he made a mistake, Scott, by coming out looking to get others involved instead of looking to set the tone by being aggressive. Paul Pierce and I spoke about that before the game on the 7 o'clock Sports Center. He said LeBron needed to come out and to be aggressive off tap, go right after them, because that was going to set the tone for the rest of the team. He didn't do that. I'm also looking at a pass that he gave up late in the game within 1 point when he decided to pass the ball to Tristan Thompson instead of taking the shot himself.
Right.
And then I'm also thinking about Ty Lue. Ty Lue did not double Kevin Durant. Do you have any explanation for that, Scott? Because I don't. It's a rhetorical question. The fact is, Jeff Van Gundy comes on the air. Jeff Van Gundy comes on the air right before halftime with Kevin Durant ISO'd near the top of the key, and he says, I don't let him ISO. I double him and get the ball out of his hands immediately. Ty Lue didn't do that. Kevin Durant drills a 3 over Larry Nance. Boom, halftime arrives. And don't get me started with what he did in the third and the fourth quarter against anybody and everybody that came in his direction. It was a sensational performance, but if you're Ty Lue and you see Steph Curry struggling, and you see Klay Thompson struggling, and you're looking at guys like JaVale McGee and Iguodala and Livingston that were making just as much of a contribution as Klay and Steph, who combined for 21 points on 3 of 15 shooting from three-point range, you would think you would double Kevin Durant at some point. He didn't do it. I don't understand why. Those are the reasons to me that they are officially on the brink of elimination, with the broomsticks being surrounding the stadium, actually, because Friday is exactly what we expect.
Yeah, and I understand the point on LeBron, and yet Stephen A., somebody had to help him, and early on he's facilitating, he's setting up guys, and they're finally making those shots, and I think you want to give others an opportunity, but I agree with you that late, he can only shoulder so much, but if you're going to go down, I want to go down with him taking that shot. I want to go down with him bullying his way to the basket. I don't want to go down with somebody else with the ball in their hands.
Scott, let me put it to you this way. You've watched basketball. You've been covering basketball on Sports Center for many, many years. You understand the difference between those who have just a certain level of skill. We know that LeBron is a physical specimen. He's extraordinary. We know he's the greatest player in the world. He's 6'9", 260, coming at you. But when times get tight, there's a reluctance to shoot the ball. He wants to engage in bully basketball because he's so much bigger than everybody else. But did you see Kevin Durant? Did you see how nonchalant he was? Did you see how he was looking at guys and saying, do y'all really have a hard time figuring this out? Just give me the ball, please, and let me show you how this is done. And that's exactly what he did. That's why I was going off on him with game one, because he's one of the most efficient offensive superstars we have ever seen. Why are you constantly deferring?
Right.
Game three tonight, he didn't defer. He looked at the other guys and said, it's y'all turn to defer. Give me the damn ball, echoing Keyshawn Johnson. That's what he got. He got the damn ball, and we saw what he did with it. 43 and 13. It was a show, and it was special.
It was that. It was that. And we look forward to your show tomorrow morning, and obviously plenty to talk about on First Take. Yep, we'll see you then. Thank you, Stephen.
Thank you, buddy. All right.
The Finals post-game report is brought to you by TAG, based on a true story. See it in theaters June 15th.